So, good morning and welcome, Brenda Lanigan. It's so good to have you back. I know we had you on the Teresa and Amy show, and you were sharing a little bit about everything you were doing, but your story and what you do was so captivating that we couldn't even contain it in one show, and I had to have you back. Okay?
Awesome.
So, would you like to take a few minutes and explain a little about who you are and what you do?
Absolutely. So I've been a holistic practitioner for well over 20 years now, and my journey began when my mom found out that she had cancer, and right at the end of her life, we both started looking towards different options other than, the regular medical way and all the invasive therapies that are out there. And we looked at SEACT and some different treatments and things. And that started me on my journey because it allowed me to see that there are other options. There's always options. So even though maybe it's not the medical way to go about it, there are other things out there, and there's so many different options out there. So, one might not work and others might, and everybody's different. So it's nice to have a real various things that you can try to see what works best for you. So that's
I was actually on a show yesterday and I was interviewed as a service hero, and it was with a woman named Tamara Hunter, and she has chemo buddies for life. So when you're talking about this, and you're talking about the alternative medicines and therapies and all of that, I wonder how much community plays a role in the healing of people. Can you touch on that?
Absolutely. That is huge because you need a support system around you when you're just kind of stuck by yourself, and so many people have that. Now, it's changing a lot more now, but there are still the mindset, well, you have to listen to your doctor, and you have to listen to what they say, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. But the thing is we've been living in our bodies the longest, and if we really get back to that, we are the ones that know what our body needs the best. Now, sometimes that is medical intervention, and that's fine. But sometimes it's like, you know what, my gut is telling me that there is something else out there, and that's what I need to follow. So finding that community of people that will rally around and go, no, you're making the right decision, because that, what you feel inside, and best, you're the expert on yourself. So finding those communities to support you are huge.
Definitely is. Yesterday we were talking about experiences that we've had, and when we've gone through things that we've had to internalize and recognize within ourselves when it's best. Like, I used to be very ill, and when I would see a doctor and I would get medication, it didn't feel right. I would do things that the doctor advised, but deep down inside I knew there was a better way. And it was through alternative and holistic healing and different modalities, it's not like I did just one, that I was able to heal myself. And yes, now periodically when my gut tells me that I do need to go to a medical doctor, I do. And the best thing is that you're right about how our internal guidance system in our gut is really the strongest mind that we have. Like, we know what we need. And we've got to follow that. So can you share some of the alternative healing techniques and things you've learned about, things that you do?
Absolutely. So my big thing is color. Color plays such a huge part of our lives, and we really don't even realize it. Color is everywhere in our environment, out in nature. We eat colors when we are eating whole foods, which are the best for us. Sometimes when we're waking up and, we just don't feel our best, so we put on our favorite colored clothes or our favorite, fuzzy sweater or something, and it makes us feel good. And that's color therapy. So I do color light therapy, as well as teach color breathing and different things like that, and how to incorporate color into our life. And a fun thing to do, and I've noticed this quite a few times, is if you happen to be out in public, say, or, even with your own children or grandchildren, and you're trying to get them ready for bed, for instance, and they're running around like crazy kids and nothing will settle them down. Take a look to see what they're dressed in, because if they're dressed in red, orange, or yellow, those are hot colors and they are meant to get your body moving. So, just keep that. There you go.
I've got a colorful red sweater here that I've been snuggling up with.
And those are the best things for, doing something that might make you feel uncomfortable, or, helping you stand in your power. So that's a red color. But, for children, when you're out in public or maybe out at the bank and, everybody's standing in line and then you see this kid just zipping around, notice what they're dressed in, because 10 to 1, they're dressed in hot colors. So, you want to just keep in mind, dress them in blues or purples, because those are the cooler colors to give them peace and help them calm down. So, just those.
What about tie-dye? How does tie-dye play into things?
Tie-dye is great during the day because then you're absorbing all the colors. So, and those activate all your chakras, and those are wonderful colors. You're experiencing all the different colors of the rainbow, so that's pretty awesome.
Amazing. Now, when you're talking about color, and there are different parts of our body, and we've got different chakra centers, right?
Yes.
I'm just curious, does it matter where you place the color on your body to activate things, or is it like, is there any correlation to that, or is it just anywhere?
Well, the color will go where it needs to go. We have the 7 chakras starting at our base, at our spine, at the base of our spine, and that's the the red one. And then it just goes up by color. So you have red, orange, yellow, green is at our heart center, our heart chakra, and then we move into the throat, the third eye, and then the crown. So then those are like the blue, the purple, or the indigo and the purple. Mm-hmm. So, but when you're wearing colors, or you're eating colors, or you're just breathing those colors in, those colors are going to go where they need to go. It's something similar to Reiki. Wherever the energy is needed is where it's going to go.
That's amazing. I love that. Aside from colors, you're the one who introduced me to the oils. I know that oils have become a very big thing over the years, and I knew that scents played a key role, right? Because you can have a scent and be connected immediately to a thought, a feeling, a memory, just like you can have a sound. It automatically triggers things. But when we're looking at scents, how do oils and natural oils and everything play into people's well-being?
That's huge. And yes, essential oils are part of my everyday life. I use them every single morning. And just to backtrack a little bit, I'd say about 12 years ago, I had a friend of mine who was an aromatherapist, and she was going to write a book. And she asked me just to use the oils every day and write down what I found. So I'm thinking, anything holistic, I'm a guinea pig, you got it, So that took me on a journey of a year with using one essential oil each week. And my experiences, they changed my life. Huge. Like I was not in a good place at that time. And by the end of that year, I was able to go back to school and drive. I commuted every day from Port Colborne to Toronto, which is way outside my comfort zone, and doing it with small children at home and graduating with honors and all these different things that I would have never even imagined in a million years that I could have done. Yeah. And oils work on your physical, your mental, your emotional, and your spiritual aspects of yourself. So they don't just, they're not just smell good and it's like, oh, that smells so good, but they work on all the levels of your body to enhance, to help you move forward, to do all these amazing things behind the scenes that you won't really notice ahead of time. But then when you look back, you go, oh my goodness, look where I was and look at where I am today. And it's just an amazing journey using oils.
That is so cool. And what's really neat is 3 things in there. You said first, you'll be a guinea pig for anything holistic. And so, yes, you were my guinea pig when I was creating the 30 Days to Happiness program a few years ago. And I thank you for everything you did. Second, this week is all about power in our show. And that's the Teresa and Amy show online on Facebook. And it's so funny because you're talking about how these oils had you step into your power. And we were talking about the colors bringing power to you, right? So
Absolutely.
You're already connecting on what we were discussing earlier in our show topic today. And the third thing is I get how dedicated you are to your life. And I just want to acknowledge you for the kind of person that you are with your kids, with your business, with your education, with your healing, and being a contribution and of service to others. Because I'm somebody who traveled from St. Catharines to Toronto all the time, and Port Colborne is farther to go to Toronto. So really, I acknowledge you for who you had to be to go through that and have small kids at home. Because I get that world. I understand that 100%.
Well, thank you so much for those kind words. I really appreciate that. It's been quite a journey, and you know, it's amazing to look back and go, wow, I never would have, you know, seen how my life could be as rich and, you know, just wonderful as it is, and you know, having all these wonderful people in my life. So I'm really blessed with that, that's for sure.
That is so good. So good. And so I know you use like several things. There are two questions I have for you. One is, what is your business? Like, how do people get a hold of you, right? That definitely has to be in this. And I want to make sure that people can get a hold of you. The second thing is, what are all of the things that you do? I know you mentioned some in the beginning, but what are the other things? If somebody came to you and they're like, you know, Brenda, I'm really sick, I don't know what to do. Like, what is the journey that you would take somebody on if you were walking them through the process of self-discovery and healing?
Well, thank you for asking. This is a two-part answer, and I've just launched what's called Surviving to Thriving, a wellness path to holistic wellness. And what that is that's for people that, you know, have gone and gotten tests at the doctors, and the doctors are like, the tests are coming back that you're fine. But you know deep down inside that there is something not right. So what I do is I sit down with the individual and do a really extensive health analysis and find out not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, because you're a whole person, you know, and all those other aspects are part of who you are and part of what is going on. So even though you find something, you know, you feel that something's not right and it's not manifesting physically yet, it's probably because it's somewhere stuck in the etheric fields of your mental thoughts or your emotions, and that's where I can work too with the color lights as well as the Reiki. So doing this whole analysis, which looks at all the aspects, really gives me an understanding of, okay, this is where you are, and then suggesting different things. So it's a 7-month program. Okay, I have some different I'm just looking at splitting it up into smaller groups, because some people might not be able to commit to 7 months, and that's okay too. You got to work with what you're able to do. So I'm just looking at
Are you able to work with people from a distance, or do you have to have them all physically with you?
I can work with people from a distance. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And when I'm hearing you talk, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, wow, I'm like the ideal client for you. And I'm sitting here going, do you want to do some work right here or not? Because it's like, you probably know a bit of my past health history. I'm not sure if you do or not. But one of the things that I struggle with is that I always have energy stuck in my solar plexus. It's like humongous, that chakra area. There's like this big thing that I have to constantly like clear, but it's not like flowing like the rest of my body.
Okay.
And I don't know why. And what happens is I end up being super powerful, and then I get an illness that's quite profound, and it'll just take me out, and I'll be super powerful, and it's this roller coaster that I just want to get off of. I'm very tired of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So one thing that I can suggest for you is if you can imagine that you have a funnel sitting on the top of your head. And now with that funnel on top of your head, I want you to imagine that you have the beautiful yellow color from the sunshine. So just imagine that beautiful sunshine just pouring all its beautiful color into that funnel at the top of your head, and feel it going right down through your head, down your neck and your shoulders, down past your throat and your heart, and then right where your solar plexus is, I want you to imagine that you are breathing out through that. So you are breathing out that yellow through your solar plexus. So it's like a big channel going right from the top of your head, right down, and then out through your solar plexus. And just breathe that in and out. So breathing in the color and breathing out through your solar plexus.
Okay.
Now, how does that feel?
It felt good in the beginning, but I feel like it keeps getting muddy. Like there's this yellow and then it somehow muddies. It's like mixing when I'm breathing in and out of it here, which I've never done before. I've done the funnel, but I've
Right.
never tried to breathe out in and out from here. I feel like when I do, it's actually getting like you've mixed some paint together. You know, when there's yellow, but then it's got the other colors that are in it, and it's not quite clear. Yeah.
Okay. So that's something that you need to work on, because what that's showing you is the chakra is blocked and muddy. So the best thing to do is you can carry any type of yellow crystal, so citrine, amber.
I have some.
What's that?
I have some. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, I do. Good.
So those would be some of the colors that you could work with. Chamomile is
I have some of that too.
there you go. So if you put that on your solar plexus, because that's more of a warm yellow oil, and
Okay.
that will help you as well, just to clear that out. And you might have to do it a couple times a day for quite a while. And eating yellow food, so yellow peppers, what else is yellow? Bananas, lemons, anything like that, just to get the yellow color into you, because that's what your solar plexus is that's the yellow color. So even, I know today it's not very sunny out there. Yesterday would have been an awesome day because of all the sunshine.
I've been sitting here every single day going, I need to go somewhere tropical. Like I have this like, it's nagging at me every single day. And it's not because I necessarily need a vacation. It's that like my body is screaming for sunshine, like real sunshine.
Right. Well, that's where color breathing is really helpful, because the yellow color, if you breathe that in and not even just directing it to your solar plexus, but breathing it in through your whole body and seeing your whole body filled with that beautiful color, will help with seasonal affective disorder, which is not getting enough sunshine.
Yeah. I know. I actually have a happy light. It's downstairs right now, but I've got one of the ones that helps with seasonal affective disorder.
Nice.
So yeah, and it really does make a difference for anybody who doesn't know about it. Really cool. I got mine at Costco for $65. And it was really, really, really good.
Oh, that's awesome.
So because of this, I'm actually going to bring it up here and stick it in this office now, and start using it again, because I think that might make a big difference.
It's a
Brenda,
great idea.
Genius. So fun. Okay, so thank you for walking me through that. Amazing.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, and what else do you do for people? And it's funny because I have all of the yellow stuff here, like everything that you said. I'm like, I've got it. Yeah, I'm fully prepped.
There you go. So you're all set. So after the health analysis and just having a conversation, it's not, well, tell me about this, and, being worried that, oh, well, I know I'm not eating right, and I know I'm not doing this right. It's okay. There's no judgment here. It's more about how I can give you the options so that you can choose for yourself what is the best for you. So I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, you got to cut out all sugar and you got to do this and you got to do that. It's like, okay, you know what? Here are some options. and you choose what's best for you. I'm all about giving options. So that's what my job is, to give you all the options that I know of and letting you choose. So throughout the program, there's supplements. So one of the analysis goes through the 9 body systems. So you have a visual right there of what all your body systems are doing. And then we target one body system. I give you a supplement for that. And what's nice is if you are one-on-one with me, like in my office, I can muscle test you, but we can always do this long distance as well. So we know that your body's saying, yes, I need this one here, not so much that one, but this one. And then after that supplement is done, then we do another lifestyle analysis again to see where your body systems are at.
Mm-hmm.
And then we target that highest number, which happens to be the lowest working body system, and we go through that. So, you know, there's supplements through the whole thing, and what we're trying to do is supplements are herbs, which is food for your body. So because these were originally plants, plants are food, and they have an energy because they were alive at one
Mm-hmm.
point. So that energy works synergistically with our energy, and our body knows what to do with it. So when we give ourselves supplements, our body's like, ooh, this is just what I needed in order to heal whatever it is in my body, or support it so that I can do the job that it needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with medications, so many people find that, you know, taking medications, you don't feel right. There's side effects, different things like that. And, you know, there's medication that we do need to take, and that's quite all right. But because a lot of it is synthetic, a lot of times our bodies don't know what to do with it. So that's what creates all the other side effects and things, because our body's like, I'm not sure what to do with this. So the more we can provide food for our bodies to support our bodies to be up to maximum levels, it's all good, because then we can, you know, lead a healthier, richer life without, you know, all these other things going on. And there's also therapies that I do throughout as well, and the person can choose which therapies they are. Now, if it's a long distance one, I can do the Reiki, the color light therapy, as well as crystal therapy long distance. However, the reflexology and the ion cleanses have to be done in my office. So
I love reflexology and ion cleanses. So cool.
yeah, they're just wonderful tools to, you know, help us unblock those blocked energies through our body and detox. And it's just, they're just amazing. I had one client that broke her toe and wasn't able to move her toes for, I think it was over a year. And during the first cleanse that she did, she was able to move her toes without pain. So it drew out whatever the joint pain was and the inflammation, so that she could move her toes, which I thought was really, really cool. So
that is really cool.
Yeah,
I have so many more questions. I really do. And the thing is that I've set this to be a half an hour long episode. So right now we're coming up upon the end of it. And so my questions would be, and you probably won't have time to answer them right now, is what the 9 body systems are. Then the other question would be, have you had anybody who happens to be like me, for example? I totally perplexed some people because I would have reactions to a lot of supplements that were even organic and herbal, right? So I was an interesting case for a lot of people, and for myself, I just chose not to go with supplementation and to get it through food. And I do know that I need a little bit more, but it's like I'm a little skeptical when I go on things. So I guess the first thing would be, how do you work with somebody who has a lot of sensitivities, right? And then I want to have you, just one second, sorry, and then I want to have you say whatever you want to say as a final words to the audience watching and how they can get a hold of you, okay? Because we got to sum it up.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
No problem. So my thought would be very mindful where you purchase your supplements from. I purchased mine from Nature's Sunshine, which I know is a reputable company that does not put fillers. There's a lot of companies out there that put fillers into their supplements. So that is really, really important. And if you don't know and you're not really sure, then, you know, speak to me, speak to, you know, your chiropractor or naturopath, because they would know what companies are reputable that you can go with, be able to get proper supplements. And muscle test, you will be able to figure out, even if you do it yourself, there's a couple different ways to muscle test to know whether your body's like, yes, I need this, or there's something in there that's not sitting right with me, so we need to try another supplement. So
Perfect.
Those would be the most important
I used
things
to spend a fortune on them. Like, I mean, even top quality things, like even USANA and a bunch of other companies, it's like, it didn't matter which ones. It was like, I would be triggered and I would get like, you know, migraines and full body, like, so yeah, it's something I'm very aware of. And usually I don't just jump into spending a lot of money with somebody. And I love the muscle testing to see if your body is going to react, because I know how that energy works with that. So that's amazing. Great. And would you like to say any last words to people, or what would you like to say?
Well, I just appreciate you having me on today, and so I could talk more and tell more about what I do. And you can find me at www.ultimatewellnesshub.com. And on February 5th, we will be relaunching this website, as well as having a store up and running. So I'm really excited about that. You could also email me. My email is on the Ultimate Wellness Hub. Just look under the About and you'll find me there, and a little bit more about my story. And definitely feel free to connect with me, and I'd love to hear from you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Brenda. This is my very first Zoom interview with anybody, so I don't know how to put the website in there. So make sure that if you're watching this, it is www.ultimatewellnesshub.com. This is Brenda Lanigan. Brenda, I want to thank you so much for being a guest on the show. You're amazing. You have so much wealth, information, and I know you can help people, whether they are your clients or not. They are going to benefit from this, and people who are your clients are just going to do so well. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Amy.
Bye.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.